Maintenance does more. Need new tires? Yep, Dad does that. How about brakes? Yep, Dad does that too. All this can be done from the comfort of your home or office. Contact Dad's Mobile Auto Maintenance at 910-308-0624 or schedule an appointment online at dadsmobileautomaintenance.com.
Looking for ideas to update your home's tile work? Come to Meadow Creek Tile in Southern Pines. They are a locally family-owned business that's been here for over 35 years. Call and set up an appointment or come in and browse their showroom from 9 to 4, Monday through Friday, and select from the finest ceramic, marble, glass, and stone tile materials in hundreds of styles to suit your taste and budget. They're located on Highway 15501 South near Zaxby's. That's Meadow Creek Tile, 910-693-7711.
Hi friends, Eric Cooper here from Cooper Ford to answer the question, why shop at Cooper Ford? First, we're locally and family owned, and that means every dollar you spend stays right here in the community. In fact, our ongoing commitment to our community is because Cooper Ford is part of the community. We live here, we shop here, share our faith here, and support many community causes. Plus, at Cooper Ford, we don't have and never had market-adjusted prices over MSRP like so many other dealers. We give fair and honest prices. It's just doing the right thing. And finally, at Cooper Ford, you're not just a number, you're part of the Cooper Ford family.
Cooper Ford, always working hard to be your hometown dealer.
This is the perfect time of the year to bust out all your Echo tools and equipment from Beaver Equipment. Thanks to all the storms, my new Echo chainsaw from Beaver Equipment has been getting a good workout. Beaver Equipment is the place to go for rough and rugged Echo equipment for real men. They offer 5-year warranties and are locally owned and operated. So men, get out there and enjoy your Echo Power equipment from Beaver Equipment, Highway 211 in Aberdeen, 910-944-0402.
It's our inventory reduction sale. Hi, this is Katherine Phelps, new owner of your local Sears hometown store, where creating relationships is our business. Save up to 40% off all scratch and dent, discontinued, and clearance appliances. Hurry in and help us clean out our distribution center while quantities last. See store for details. And remember, we price match any in-stock local competitor at your Sears hometown store in the Town & Country Shopping Center, Aberdeen.
Channel your inner Sherlock Holmes as everyone is a suspect in Temple Theater's next main stage show, Murder for Two, a hilarious double-act murder mystery musical that's a combination of Agatha Christie and the Carol Burnett Show. On stage October 13th through October 30th. One actor investigates the crime. The other plays all the suspects. And they both play the piano. Join Officer Marcus Moskowitz as he investigates who done it. Was it the fireman, the wife, or maybe the psychiatrist? 13 suspects will have you on the edge of your seat as you try to solve this madcap musical mystery. Put your detective skills to the test in this witty musical romp loaded with killer laughs. And you won't want to miss this toe-tapping musical comedy. Tickets are $29 and available at templeshows.org. Murder for Two, on stage October 13th through the 30th. Sponsored by Ting and North Carolina Arts Council.
It's 6 a.m., and you're driving 2 hours to a 30-minute heart appointment. It's time for a wake-up call. UNC Health Southeastern is redefining heart care for Robeson County and beyond by bringing outstanding doctors and the most advanced technology to diagnose and treat heart conditions closer to home. Schedule a heart assessment by calling 910-671-6619. UNC Health Southeastern, here for you, here for good.
In real estate, just like in golf, local knowledge is important. So get on board with the team that sells more. Hi, this is Angie McHugh with Sand Hill Realty. Our team of agents have over 100 years of combined real estate experience right here in Moore County. We have local knowledge, so check out our listings at WeSellMore.com or call me, Angie McHugh, at 910-315-6280. At Sand Hill Realty, we know more, we love more, and we sell more.
Thanks for help bringing the economy back. One local purchase at a time.
Kind of uplifts you and you feel better.
It's the greatest comeback of all time. With Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB.
The Zumwalt Zone is proudly sponsored by Moore County Citizens for Freedom. Always looking out for you.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt Zone. Boy, have I got some good news for you drivers. You may now drive your car with no fear of being pulled over for certain violations. You won't be stopped for not having insurance or a loud muffler or an expired inspection sticker or a broken tail light or a broken headlight or illegal window tint or even driving with a revoked license. These are all things that officers can see or they can glean from your license plate. So apparently you can now get in your car with an expired inspection sticker and one headlight, one tail light, no insurance, loud muffler. You can drive all over the place. And you can even do it if your driver's license is revoked. You'll be fine. Well, there is one glitch. You got to make it to Mecklenburg County first. Sheriff Gary McFadden's put a stop to these types of traffic violations in his area. He said it was unfair to the black population to be pulled over for this. Apparently they're getting pulled over for it more than the white population. He doesn't say whether or not they're guilty or whether they're just getting stopped by bigoted deputies. I think that's kind of important to know, don't you? If you've got a deputy out there stopping people for these offenses and that driver's guilty of nothing but being black, they need to fire that deputy and maybe prosecute him, I think. Don't you? What's next? Too many Mexicans being arrested for illegally coming over the Mexican border? Equality means equality. It does not mean amnesty. Don't try this foolishness in Moore County. Our sheriff enforces the law. Have a good day from the Zumwalt Zone.
It's going to be a warmer day today than where we were yesterday, with high temperatures out ahead of a cold front in the low to mid 80s this afternoon. We'll see mostly sunny skies. Then for tonight, partly cloudy and cool with overnight lows in the mid 50s. Behind the cold front, we'll see temperatures cooler this weekend with highs on Saturday in the upper 60s and low 70s with mostly sunny skies tomorrow. So looking at a fairly nice forecast here as we head into the weekend with no rain. I'm meteorologist Anthony Baglione in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' #1 morning show. Mornings with the LeaderMan. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
What day is today? Friday.
It's been an amazing week.
How do you mean? How so?
Records were broken.
I had a good feeling off the bat.
Number 62.
Hot gossip.
Tom Brady and Gisele Bundchen's marriage may be headed for the end zone.
You ready to get this party started?
Ready for the weekend.
Turn on, tune in.
Turn it up.
Welcome, my friends, to the show that never ends.
Showtime.
I got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric wavy when I turn it on. Off from my city, off from my home. We're flying up no ceiling when we in our zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off it, moving so phenomenally. Come on, like the way we rock it, so don't stop. And under the lights when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well, you already know. So just imagine, just imagine. Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good creeping up on you, so just dance, dance, dance. Come on, all those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. There ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing. I can't stop the feeling, so just dance, dance, dance. I can't stop the feeling, so just dance, dance, dance. Come on. Ooh, it's something magical. It's in the air, it's in my blood, it's rushing on. I don't need no reason, don't need control. I fly so high, no ceiling when I'm in my zone. Cause I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off it, moving so phenomenally. Come on, like the way we rock it, so don't stop. Under the lights when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well, you already know. So just imagine, just can't stop the feeling. Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Good creeping up on you, so just dance, dance, dance. All the things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. Ain't nobody leaving.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, 990 AM, WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sandhills. It's time once again for Mornings with the LeaderMan. I am Steve Leader Adams, and don't forget, of course, we are being heard and seen around the world on a live video stream. That's available to you from our website. Just go to talk973.com or talk1041.com or WEEB990.com. Top middle of the page is where the video link's located. Upper right-hand corner of the page is a different link that says On the Air Listen Live. Click that once you're listening that quick to our broadcast signal. Weather for us today here in the Sandhills area. Well, it's going to be nice. What can I say? A little warmer, sunny with a high of 81, but dew point's well in check. Tonight, clear, 56. Saturday, mostly sunny with a high of 70. See, we need this kind of weather year-round. That's truly what we need. Saturday night, clear and 45. Sunday, mostly sunny, 69, 72 on Monday. Tuesday, 73 and 73 on Wednesday. Thursday, 76. All under sunny skies. Right now, around the Sandhills, solar radiation is 11 watts per square meter. Pressure 3043. Winds calm, dew point 54. Humidity 88%. It is sunny and 58 degrees currently here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And this morning in the studio, we welcome John Zumont to the microphone with his knowledge and what's the other word I'm looking for? Insight.
Well, I'm not sure that's it, but I'm happy to be sitting in for the Colonel today. I know that no one can fill his shoes, but I'm going to give it a shot.
All right. Let's see where we're going to start first. We'll start out with the, I don't know. Should we start out with this? Let's start out with this and see if, for once, it will operate correctly. We're going to find out. All right. Here we go. Once again, it is time to go take down the bad guy.
I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog, too.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for?
I knew it.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you were 8 and you had bad traits, you go to school.
I hate windows. What can I say? All right, it's time to skirt across the floor. And the style of the Duke. Come on, Windows. They're gonna get tired of playing your game now. And the style of the Duke, John Wayne, open up our closet doors and look at all 30 Liberty safes. And today we're going to mosey over to safe number 18. And let John reach in and grab the weapon of choice today.
Colt Python 357.
All right, Colt Python 357. We'll float through that in the holster, pin on our badge, and out the door we go now in relentless pursuit of stupid criminal news. Stupid criminal news number one, and the only one today. A Florida man is charged with multiple felonies after running from the police and using his toddler as a human shield. Thankfully, the child was not harmed during the altercation. Here is the moment that the police approached Brandon Lohner, used a taser on him to save the baby. Let's see if we can get both of these sounds to fit through one hole. Here we go.
Put the baby down! Put the kid down! Stop, dude!
Lots of excitement, that's for sure. Anyway, they got the baby back safely. And let's see.
You know what? we don't even have to say anything about that. You know why?
Why?
Because every single person out there is saying exactly what we're thinking. And I would like to ask if there are any law enforcement listening, or maybe you know this, Steve, but I wonder if when you tase a person who's holding a child, I wonder if that child feels that tase as well. What a horrible thing. And like I said, every person there, every one of you are thinking and saying the same thing that I'm thinking and that Steve's thinking.
No. Well, there's a scumbag born every minute. Unfortunately, some of them are blessed with children but have no idea how to take care of one. All right. It is 7:44, 44 past the hour. Let's move on to our regular sound bites this morning as we dive into the late night talk show Eunuch Boys and see if their powerful writers can come up with one joke that's worthy of their enormous salary.
According to an app called Preply, they polled people in various U.S. cities to find out how often they use curse words. Columbus, Ohio was number one. Really? According to the survey, the average Columbus resident swears 36 times a day. It's like a Quentin Tarantino movie over there.
Listen to this. I read that the Air Force just announced a plan to reduce the carbon footprint and adapt to climate change. Yeah, it's a major move. In fact, the Air Force just unveiled their new F-24 Prius. Have you seen this?
A new list from Fortune magazine has ranked CVS Health President and CEO Karen Lynch as the most powerful woman in business because she's the only one with the key to the razors.
The U.S. might start requiring beer, wine, and spirits makers to provide more information on what's in their drinks. These are strange times. Weed's about to be illegal, but we need a full report on what's in Bud Light Lime.
All right. Normally I say, well, you pay this kind of money, you expect better jokes. But let me tell you, they've outdone themselves today. These are horrendous. They are terrible. They are awful. They're not funny. How in the world? How? Look, you may not like what I say sometimes trying to be funny. In fact, most of the time. But I'm not making millions of dollars. These are, I haven't opened a check today, but these are absolutely terrible, terrible. Don't you think?
Yeah, and get a little tired of it after a while, but we're always hoping. We're always hoping. But look, what was on the other channel? Thursday Night Football. Denver fans booed their Broncos many times during the game, and neither team scored a touchdown. Now, that's excitement to the max there. Here's Al Michaels and Kurt Herbstreit with a pretty good example of the lack of action with the Colts and Broncos near the end of regulation.
6 field goals, 9-9.
There's no way you've called a 9-9 game.
Heck, they're leaving. The Broncos fans are bailing. They've had enough.
It's 9-9. They're like, the heck with it. I'm out.
Sometimes you just got to beat the traffic.
Well,
you know what? I've got a lot of respect for football players at professional level. In fact, I was talking to a guy the other day who was telling me that about professional wrestling and how it's all choreographed and it's rigged and it's not athletic and it's not a real. And, I'm not going to argue with him, but I'll tell you this. Just imagine yourself getting in the ring with one of those great big 6'7", muscled up from head to toe wrestlers and having him tell you, okay, this whole thing's rigged. So here's what we're going to do today. I want you to pick me up over your head and spin me around. And then I want you to slam me to the ground. Then I want you to climb up on top of that rope. And I want you to fly through the air and land on me. And then, and you're going to say, okay, I thought it was rigged. I'm going to do that. Those guys are athletes, amazing athletes. Same thing with those football players. It may not have been an exciting game, but boy, those guys, they are talented.
Sometimes.
They're always talented. They may not do as well as some of them, but they always do better than anyone in this county, or perhaps, county can do. And I love the county. That's not my point.
A musician must have been extremely bored. Has a YouTube channel called the Kiftness channel, and he recorded his neighbor's cat that was standing at his door yowling. He added percussion, reverb, keyboards, vocals with some lyrics, and what he believes the cat is trying to say. Here we go.
Don't you know that I'm trying to get to you, trying to get through, but I don't know how to get to you.
Man, I wish you would have played that before I criticized the late night boys. I might not have been some.
That wasn't a late night boy.
I know, but oh my goodness, I felt like I was having a stroke about halfway through that.
Oh, that'll be an earworm in your ear all day long. Well, here's a group of teenage girls that you could be proud of if you were their dad. A group of teenage girls out of Florida have built an auto shop business specializing in breaking down and fixing carburetors they receive from across the country. Here is Riley Trask talking about her lucrative business.
All females working. It involves me and 5 other girls who are 17. After school, we come here, work for a couple hours. We break down carburetors we receive from people all over the country, clean them up, rebuild them, and send them back out. I think of it as a good thing, like the fact that I found a hobby or a profession that doesn't have a lot of females. If you use what you have as an attribute.
Well, Steve, I really, truly do think that's amazingly wonderful. The only problem I have with it, I like it that they're young people, but I don't care about the female part. So what? They did this. Are we to believe that, I know you don't, that females are less able to perform whatever it takes to take a carburetor apart and put it back? No. I think it's just good. I really like this story a lot. I hate that they emphasize the females did this. Like, they're so ignorant that it's amazing that we can even believe that they could even begin to do something like this. But it sounds like a great group of kids, and I'm glad they're doing it.
Do they even use carburetors anymore?
I was thinking the same thing, but see, I'm not up on my cars enough to know if there's that many that they have such a demand that they need to mail them into a central place and rebuild them.
Seems like that'd be an old technology.
Yeah, but I guess those old technologies are the ones that need expertise.
Yeah, because they're fuel injectors now.
Mm-hmm. But if you have an old, like I always think of an old pickup truck, but if you have an old car, and just the very fact that it is old technology means that it's probably a dying
breed.
Yeah, so good for them. I'm really glad that they figured that out and they're making money.
Usually a game that goes into overtime has an excitement level, not in the case in the Thursday night football last night. Denver fans booed the Broncos many times during the game, and neither team scored a touchdown. Did I do this?
Mm-hmm. I knew I was having a stroke.
So it's starting to sound awful familiar. They print it twice sometimes on a page, and I go through so much crap. I go, did I read that on the air?
Just as long as you,
or in practice.
I would also like to point out that you've already played that cat, just in case.
Columbus, Ohio, is the city that causes the most
cussing. We've had that one.
Curses the most. That's right. Never mind.
Call me the Great Karnak.
All right, you don't have this. As part of our public service, we step aside once a week for a quick rural community affairs program. It's called Learning with Vernon. Roll the theme.
Learning with Vernon, get smarter every day. If you got a question and Google just won't do, you just ask Vernon, you'll have an answer soon.
Yep, solving any size problem in only a little amount of time. Go ahead, caller.
Hi, Vernon.
Is this a new show or one of your repeats?
No, this is new. They're all new.
Well, I got a question.
Hold up. Can you turn your radio down?
Oh, yeah, sure.
We can hear it in the background.
Hey, Stella! What? Turn the radio down.
I won't be able to hear you on the radio.
No, hon, turn it down.
Turn it down, Stella.
I'm doing it. Hi, Vernon.
Hey, Stella.
Turn it down.
Listen, we're all out of time this time. We'll see you next time.
Learning with Vernon, you'll have an answer soon.
You know, you can pick up quite a few things with Vernon if you just listen long enough.
Yeah.
But it does get old after a while.
I know. What you are talking about, like Lou Gehrig talking in the mic at Yankee Stadium. All right. Right Said Fred called Beyonce arrogant for sampling their song, I'm Too Sexy, on her song Alien Superstar without permission. We didn't ask either to make this mashup of both. To be clear, he is not in her song. We mixed him in. So, yay to us, to the rescue.
I'm too sexy for my shirt.
I'm too classy for this world. Forever I'm that girl.
Too sexy for my shirt, so sexy.
I'm too classy to be touched. I pick them all in.
I'm too sexy for your body, too sexy for your body. The way I'm disco dancing.
I'm stingy with my love, baby.
I'm too sexy for my love, too sexy for my love.
I'm stingy with my love.
I'm too sexy for this song.
All right. Got it. Well, now we've covered the headline news. We got to ask ourselves, what about the not headline news out there?
This is not headline news. 48-year-old Hillary Swank announced she's pregnant with twins. I have an alibi, said Nick Cannon. Today is National Inner Beauty Day, or as Amber Heard knows it, Friday. Every James Bond movie is now on Amazon Prime. I'm surprised this didn't happen sooner, since Jeff Bezos looks like the bad guy in most of them. A new study says 2 cups of coffee can extend your life, unless you're a Russian soldier. Some are planning to dress as a Squid Game contestant for Halloween. A poor, down-on-their-luck, heavily in-debt loser who'll do anything for a little cash. It's also the costume for radio DJ. This is not headline news.
Okay. The Milwaukee couple has had the SWAT team called on them half a dozen times in the last 2 years. Patrick Tomlinson and Nikki Robinson say that because Tomlinson shared political views that upset people and said he didn't care for Norm Macdonald 4 years ago. Here they are talking about what has been going on.
Last time they came in here with a ballistic shield, full body armor, assault rifles. I mean, that's not something that I can defend against. Back in September of 2018, I tweeted that I'd never personally found Norm Macdonald to be funny. It's a way to try and trick the police into being your executioners.
I guess that's a kind of a growing thing. First time I've heard about it from someone that didn't like Norm Macdonald. But, hey, Steve, I want to mention, people are stealing a lot of campaign signs. A lot of them. They're disappearing. That's no way to campaign for your guy. And I want you to know there are more and more cameras out there, so beware. And we've got them hidden pretty good, so you can look all you want, but I don't think you're going to find them.
Yeah, I seem to recall that during the primary.
Yep.
People just take the car and run over it.
What? You've got to be I don't know. I'm just thinking if that's the best you can do to campaign for your person, that's all you got. That's pretty bad. Just let the campaign run. Let the sign. Those things are not cheap, and it's a misdemeanor, but it's still a crime, and we're going to publicize you all we can.
They can cost anywhere from $8 to $20.
They're not cheap.
Just depending on quantity.
Shame on people for doing that.
It's a lot of money, and these people are a lot of times taking their own money out of their own pocket to do this.
That's right. It's a sure sign of a scumbag that you would do that. It would never occur to me, honestly.
They were just trying to make Moore County a better place to live.
Exactly.
Or sneak their lie by.
And while I'm doing this, I might as well mention that Maureen and I are teaching a class tomorrow at 9 o'clock at the American Legion in Aberdeen. So if you're interested, give me a call. We always have a couple of cancellations. That's what happened this time. 9 o'clock, American Legion, concealed class, Maureen and myself.
It's going to be a warmer day today than where we were yesterday, with high temperatures out ahead of a cold front in the low to mid 80s this afternoon. We'll see mostly sunny skies. Then for tonight, partly cloudy and cool with overnight lows in the mid-50s. Behind the cold front, we'll see temperatures cooler this weekend with highs on Saturday in the upper 60s and low 70s with mostly sunny skies tomorrow. So looking at a fairly nice forecast here as we head into the weekend with no rain. I'm meteorologist Anthony Baglione in the Weather Center.
Broadcasting from the top of the North Carolina Sandhills, 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB, Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. You might think it would be the kind of news he'd want to deliver to the American people in a White House address, but instead, President Biden used a big-money Democrat fundraiser to warn that we're on the verge of nuclear Armageddon. He says we haven't been this close since the 1962 Cuban Missile Crisis, and he blames Vladimir Putin. Not long after the president fist-bumped a Saudi leader, some Democrats are steamed about Saudi support for a major cut in oil production.
3 months after President Joe Biden's awkward encounter with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, Saudi Arabia and the OPEC Plus group say they will slash oil production by 2 million barrels a day. The president was asked if he regrets making the July visit.
No, the trip was not essentially for oil. The trip was about the Middle East and about Israel and rationalization of positions.
Some angry Democrats want retaliation. The U.S. provides arms and military protection for the kingdom in exchange for it supplying enough oil to the global market to keep prices stable. Norman Hall, Washington.
And President Biden not ruling out an oil deal with Venezuela's dictatorship. Republicans relentless in arguing for a return to American energy independence. And it's not only the Republicans.
As Texas Governor Greg Abbott takes heat over busing more than 3,000 illegal immigrants to New York City and more than 900 to Chicago, Democrat El Paso, Texas Mayor Oscar Leeser quietly doing the same thing and more. Leeser's bust around 7,000 illegal immigrants to New York City since late August and more than 1,800 to Chicago. The Republican initiatives to move illegal immigrants to Democrat-run sanctuary cities highlights the border problem for the rest of the country, with the election just weeks away. Tasha Stevens reporting.
Watching Wall Street, Dow futures up 48 points, NASDAQ futures down 37 points. More on these stories, townhall.com.
First, we decide where we want to go. Then we need to know the best way to get there. Hi, my name's Adam Barada. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold. We're the highest-rated precious metals firm in the country. We teach people how to own physical gold and silver. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink Award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest #1 national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
Human Rights Watch is strongly criticizing Indian authorities for using what it calls summary and abusive punishment against Muslims accused of law breaking.
The U.S.-based rights group says in several Indian states ruled by the Hindu nationalist BJP, officials have demolished Muslim properties without legal authorization and most recently publicly flogged Muslim men accused of disrupting a Hindu festival. Police in Gujarat state have started an inquiry into a video showing plainclothes officers beating Muslim men with a cane. Several properties of Muslims who were accused of throwing stones at a Hindu festival were demolished in Madhya Pradesh.
The BBC's Anbarasan Etirajan. Austrian voters go to the polls on Sunday, the first round of the country's presidential election. The race widely expected to hand incumbent Alexander Van der Bellen a second term. News and analysis at townhall.com. An apparent cyber attack on a major nonprofit health system disrupted operations across the country.
While Common Spirit Health confirmed it experienced an IT security issue earlier this week, the company has remained mum when pressed for more details about the scope of the attack. Despite the lingering questions, the incident underscores the growing concerns surrounding ransomware attacks on healthcare systems with patient care at stake. Brett Callow, a threat analyst with cybersecurity provider Emsisoft, says the incident could be the most significant attack on the healthcare sector to date. Keith Peters reporting.
This year's Nobel Peace Prize awarded to a jailed Belarus rights activist, the Russian group Memorial, and the Ukrainian-based Center for Civil Liberties. The chair of the Norwegian Nobel Committee says the judges want to honor 3 outstanding champions of human rights, democracy, and peaceful coexistence. More on these stories. Townhall.com.
We're proud to be working with our local businesses for the greatest comeback of all time.
Come together.
With Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB.
You made good choices, paid your own bills, and avoided going into debt. But liberal politician Sherry Beasley supports Biden's plan to bail out lawyers and doctors on their student loans. The New York Times reports that Beasley's loan bailout could cost taxpayers $400 billion, giving handouts to the wealthy, even couples making up to $250,000 a year. Sherry Beasley helps the rich, but for you, she backs Biden's tax hikes on working families, raising taxes on the middle class, even families making under $75,000 a year. And Beasley backs the liberal scheme to hire an army of new IRS agents to audit people like you. With Beasley, the rich get bailed out, and you're left with a bill. North Carolina can't afford liberal politician Sherry Beasley. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Hey, there are hundreds of restaurants in Moore County. Some are unique, but only one has Zaxby's. Zaxby's on 15501 in Southern Pines. Zaxby's has the most chicken options in town, whether you want it hot or not. Zaxby's can do it all. Their vast menu has something for everyone, no matter if you're dining in or driving up to take it home. Zaxby's has the cure for your chicken craving. Located on 15501 in Southern Pines near Holiday Inn Express.
Football season is back, and Rudino's has your ticket. Catch all the football action on any of the 11 screens. Come in for the lunch special, a small grinder, side salad, and bag of chips for only $6.99. Then stay until the final whistle of the last game. Visit RudinoSouthernPines.com to check out their full menu and daily specials. So get your group of friends and make Rudino's your football headquarters. Rudino's Pizza and Grinders on Pinehurst Avenue in Southern Pines.
It's our inventory reduction sale. Hi, this is Katherine Phelps, new owner of your local Sears hometown store, where creating relationships is our business. Save up to 40% off all scratch and dent, discontinued, and clearance appliances. Hurry in and help us clean out our distribution center while quantities last. See store for details. And remember, we price match any in-stock local competitor at your Sears hometown store in the Town & Country Shopping Center, Aberdeen.
At Pool Automotive, being local and family-owned isn't just a title. It's the lifeblood of our business. The moment you walk into our Aberdeen showroom, you'll be treated like family. You see, we believe that all our guests deserve quality, reliable used vehicles, and we have the inventory and finance options to make it happen. When you buy a new vehicle, the second you drive it off the lot, it's already depreciated by thousands. Before you throw that money away, come to Pool Automotive and check out our huge selection of premium vehicles. We have high-quality, off-lease vehicles, most of which are one-owner cars with low mileage and remaining factory warranties. Something else we do to save you even more? We don't charge documentation fees. Yep, you heard us right. No doc fees here. Come in today, 500 South Sandhills Boulevard in Aberdeen, or call 910-637-0057 and experience the Pool Advantage.
so you had a whole house generator installed, so that when the power goes out, the power comes right back on. Or it's supposed to. The generator guys at Carolina Power and Generators can make sure it is ready to go when needed with a biannual 35-point inspection, 24-hour service, and much, much more. Maintenance by Carolina Power and Generators equals peace of mind. For more details, visit generacnc.com and power up. Or call 910-241-4677. That's 910-241-4677.
MCN News. I'm Mike Rayleigh. The price of gas in the Triangle is on the rise again after oil producers around the world agreed to cut production. NC State University economist Dr. Stephen Allen told NCN News.
On the one hand, they are announcing that they're going to cut back on their production. Actually, they are already, most of the countries in OPEC are nowhere near output levels that they are allocated by OPEC. Kind of makes you wonder what really is going on there.
North Carolina's first congressional district will have a new representative after the November election. Longtime Congressman G.K. Butterfield announced his retirement earlier this year. Republican candidate Sandy Smith joined NCN affiliate WTIB's Henry Hinton, and he asked her what her goals for the district might be.
Right now, we have children that suffered during the COVID because they did not have internet access. We have families that are struggling to find jobs because employers are not here. We need to be encouraging folks to come to our first district and invest.
A Lee County woman is in jail today after someone she supplied drugs to overdosed and died. Nate Saunders has that.
Police said 29-year-old Samantha Goins has been charged with felony death by distribution after 32-year-old Corey Moore overdosed in 2020. Goins is being held on $250,000 bond. I'm Nate Saunders.
An attacker with a large kitchen knife killed 2 people and wounded 6 others in a stabbing along the Las Vegas Strip before he was arrested on Thursday. James Ford is a tourist.
Seems like the safety, it's like, going sideways these days.
The end of another exhausting day of surviving on the southwest coast after Hurricane Ian with no other way out. Pine Island residents get a lift from the U.S. Coast Guard.
Power pole is down, a tree is on top of the house. Look at the garage. There's a car that's in the garage, but the ground underneath it gave way.
You're listening to NCN News.
Did you know the world's largest natural habitat zoo is your North Carolina Zoo? Located just south of Asheboro, make this the fall you explore everything your North Carolina Zoo offers. Feed the giraffes at Acacia Station Giraffe Deck. Enjoy a farm-to-table southern meal at Billy D's. Or tour the 40-acre Watani Grasslands habitat aboard their open-air Zoofari vehicle. Open 7 days a week. Plan your next zoo adventure at nczoo.org. That's nczoo.org.
Hey, Roval's back. You know, that 17-turn nail-biting elimination race in NASCAR's playoffs, the one with all the surprise finishes and last-lap passes. Yep, that's the one. The one with the killer concerts and parties. Oh, and the fan zone. Insane. There's racing, and then there's Roval. Experience it for yourself. Bank of America Roval 400 this Sunday. Get your tickets at charlottemotorspeedway.com.
Former NFL player turned Senate candidate Herschel Walker's troubled past is boiling to the surface as midterm elections get closer.
After spending the entirety of his speech talking about his background and religious beliefs, Herschel Walker spoke to reporters.
I know why you're here. I do.
The embattled Senate candidate addressed reports that he paid for a woman to have an abortion back in 2009.
This here, the abortion thing is false. It's a lie.
He believes the news stories are an effort to torpedo his campaign.
I'm not perturbed. I'm not scared. And I'm not going to back down. The stakes are way, way too high.
Jonathan O'Brien for CBS News, Atlanta.
Deputies were dealt a strange hand when a man they were pulling over for speeding tried to run before wrecking his car, jumping from a bridge, and attempting to ditch a stolen gun in his possession. The driver, Willie Lamont Hardison of Tarboro, was clock speeding at 83 miles per hour. Studies show that North Carolina's population is aging quickly. The senior population is expected to increase by 52% by 2040. WRAL spoke with Mary Kelly, director of Hometown Strong, who said many people want to move to the state.
More people are coming to North Carolina. We have resources coming down from the federal government. Everyone's looking towards this of how to reinvigorate their small towns, rural areas, big cities.
A fast food chain is reaching into its past again.
What do you put in your McDonald's?
McDonald's Halloween pumpkins.
Spookty McBoo, matey.
McDonald's will be serving Happy Meals in neon trick-or-treat buckets, first introduced in 1986. They come in bright orange, green, and white with McPumpkin, McGoblin, or McBoo faces on the front. They'll be available beginning October 18th. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
It's going to be a warmer day today than where we were yesterday, with high temperatures out ahead of a cold front in the low to mid 80s this afternoon. We'll see mostly sunny skies. Then for tonight, partly cloudy and cool with overnight lows in the mid 50s. Behind the cold front, we'll see temperatures cooler this weekend with highs on Saturday in the upper 60s and low 70s with mostly sunny skies tomorrow. So looking at a fairly nice forecast here as we head into the weekend with no rain. I'm meteorologist Anthony Baglione in the Weather Center.
Right now, here in the Sand Hills area, we're looking at sunny skies, 59 degrees, humidity 87%, dew point 55, winds are calm, pressure 30-44, solar radiation up to 22 watts per square meter. It is 8:14. Let's take a look at your Sand Hills news. For this Friday morning, Moore County School Police, known as MCS Police, has conducted its investigation into the incident last Tuesday afternoon when a Pinecrest High School bus was struck by a bullet in Pine Bluff, according to school district and a press release. Pinecrest High School bus number 53 was struck by a bullet at approximately 4 p.m. while stopped at the intersection of R. Sands and Pine Bluff Lake Road in Pine Bluff. There are no injuries to students or staff. The bus was stopped at the intersection, letting students off at the bus when the driver heard a gunshot. Not knowing where it came from nor that there was any damage to the bus, the driver proceeded to the next stop, approximately 1 mile down the road at Countryside Drive. All 5 remaining students on the bus disembarked as it was their usual stop. At that time, one of the students noticed the bullet hole through the passenger window about 4 rows from the back of the bus. The bullet then lodged in the ceiling of the bus. The bus monitor called 911 and MCS Police and the Moore County Sheriff's Office responded. MCS Police immediately started an investigation with assistance from the Moore County Sheriff's Office. The investigation determined that the bullet was a ricochet from a firearm being used by a juvenile who was aiming the weapon at trees. The bus was not intended to be a target. The firearm belonged to a family member of the juvenile and had not been secured properly in the home. The juvenile is not a Moore County school student. The case of the juvenile in question is being referred to the Department of Juvenile Justice. On October 5th, sheriff investigators charged David Locklear, age 62, of Pine Bluff, with 1 count of misdemeanor storage of firearms to protect minors, pending a court appearance on November 3rd in Moore County District Court. That's your WEEB local news this morning from the Sand Hill Sentinel. And, of course, you can go to sandhillsentinel.com for more information. Time now for a Moore County High School football report. After 7 weeks, well, I sit at a record of 16-2. The Pilot has 14-4. This week, the 4-2 overall Pinecrest Patriots, and they're 2-0 in the conference, travel to Lee County again. This time to take on Lee County High School. They're undefeated at 6-0. The Yellow Jackets of Lee County are a tough team. This game is a toss-up, but I think Lee County has the home team advantage and will pull out a win, defeating Pinecrest 27-20. The undefeated 6-0 Mustangs, and they're 2-0 on the conference. Moore County High School play host to the 2-5 Hawks of Seaforth. I'm picking Moore County High School to win 51-13. And the 2-4 and 0-2 Vikings of Union Pines take on the 3-4 Richmond Raiders at home. Should be an easy one for the Raiders, winning 35-7 is my prediction. That's your latest sports from around the county. Here comes the latest in sports around the world with your sports report here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB.
Good Morning Sports Report is brought to you by Hughes Supply of Pinehurst. With over 50 years' experience, Hughes Supply can handle all your plumbing project needs from start to finish. Call 910-295-5541 or visit them online at HughesSupplyPinehurst.com.
NCN Sports, I'm Nate Saunders. On Thursday Night Football, kicking carried the Colts past the Broncos. Correspondent Bruce Morton reports.
On a night punctuated by punts and field goals, defense saved the Colts in a 12-9 overtime victory over the Broncos. After Chase McLaughlin's fourth field goal of the night, Denver drove to the Indy 5, but linebacker Zaire Franklin was happy to see the defense force an incompleted pass on 4th and 1.
That's what you look for. You know, as a defense, that's what you want. You want the game to be in your hands. You want to be the last play. You want to end the game. And, you know, it all comes down to execution, and, you know, that's what we was able to do.
The Colts are 2-2-1, while the Broncos fall to 2-3. Bruce Morton, Denver.
Appalachian State football head coach Sean Clark says his team got beat up in September.
We don't talk about it much, but those 4 games were tough on us. We've been banged up a little bit in all 3 phases of the game. So, but again, that doesn't get any easier this week when you play Texas State.
He said it was good, though, to have a decisive win over the Citadel.
I was really pleased with our team. We played a clean game, and there wasn't turnovers, there wasn't many penalties, and we needed that to get ready for the stretch we're about to go on.
App State plays Texas State tomorrow at 7 p.m. They have started the season off at 3-2 overall with wins over Troy and Texas A&M, but lost close ones to UNC and James Madison University. ECU faces Tulane on Saturday, and Tulane comes in at 4-1, including an overtime win over Houston last week. Pirates head coach Mike Houston says it was an impressive performance by the Green Wave.
One of the stronger defensive units in the country, maybe one of the better, if not the best defensive unit in our conference. So, you know, we'll be challenged Saturday night.
The Pirates are 1-1 in conference this season. I'm Nate Saunders, and you are listening to NCN Sports.
You made good choices, paid your own bills, and avoided going into debt. But liberal politician Sherry Beasley supports Biden's plan to bail out lawyers and doctors on their student loans. The New York Times reports that Beasley's loan bailout could cost taxpayers $400 billion, giving handouts to the wealthy, even couples making up to $250,000 a year. Sherry Beasley helps the rich, but for you, she backs Biden's tax hikes on working families, raising taxes on the middle class, even families making under $75,000 a year. And Beasley backs the liberal scheme to hire an army of new IRS agents to audit people like you. With Beasley, the rich get bailed out, and you're left with a bill. North Carolina can't afford liberal politician Sherry Beasley. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
The Seattle Mariners hope they can have an extended postseason appearance after ending a team playoff drought. AP correspondent Dave Ferry reports.
It's been 21 years since the Mariners' last playoff appearance, and things didn't look good for manager Scott Service's team when it began the year 18-29.
Guys are excited. That's the biggest thing. You know, is you try to get, and we had our challenges getting through the last few games, trying to stay healthy.
The 14-game winning streak pushed them over 500 in July, a stretch that included 4 wins over the Blue Jays in Seattle. Their climb almost coincided with the emergence of rookie Julio Rodriguez, who hit .275 with 25 home runs and 75 RBIs. Luis Castillo will start the opener against the Blue Jays. I'm Dave Ferry.
The playoffs in baseball start today. San Diego play at the Mets at 8 p.m. I'm Nate Saunders. You're listening to NCN Sports.
Thanks for help bringing the economy back. One local purchase at a time.
Kind of uplifts you and you feel better.
It's the greatest comeback of all time. With Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB.
My name's Phil Vandercook, and I'm running for Moore County Commissioner. I recently retired from the Army with 32 years of service. I spent 19 years as an enlisted soldier, earning the rank of Master Sergeant, and another 13 years as an officer, earning the rank of Major. I have the skill sets, knowledge, and experience to help guide Moore County into the future. I've managed multi-million-dollar budgets, been responsible for tens of millions of dollars worth of equipment, and most importantly, been responsible for the lives of the men and women who served under me. I'm conservative, unaffiliated, and independent. I believe in keeping taxes low, being fiscally responsible with your tax dollars, and promoting good government by working together to benefit the citizens of Moore County. My name's Phil Vandercook, and I'm running for Moore County Commissioner.
Look for Vandercook on the ballot for the future of Moore County. Paid for by Veterans for Moore.
Is your village, town, community, or HOA in need of road repairs? Being proactive is the key to staying ahead of the curve and implementing an effective asphalt repair program. It can improve efficiency and reduce citizen complaints. Give Seven Lakes Contracting and Asphalt Services a call at 910-673-1318 to see what they can do for you. In addition to their normal asphalt paving, asphalt overlays, crack sealing, seal coating, and striping, Seven Lakes Contracting and Asphalt Services has also implemented its asphalt patching operation through the use of a pothole patch truck equipped with a heated hopper. The patch truck can keep hot mix asphalt for a period of 72 hours, thereby extending the life of the asphalt from 1 to 2 hours with the dump truck. Call Seven Lakes Contracting and Asphalt Services at 910-673-1318, 910-673-1318.
When you're ready for your next painting project, there's only one place to go for high-quality products. JB Short Carpet 1 in Southern Pines carries premium Benjamin Moore paints for any type of project. Benjamin Moore offers unmatched color and durability, so color will last for years to come. And when you shop JB Short Carpet 1 in Southern Pines, you're not just improving your home, you're supporting a local business too. Benjamin Moore for everything that matters. JB Short Carpet 1, Highway 1 North between Southern Pines and Bass, or on the web at shortcarpet1.com.
Hi, this is Rodney Swarms with Plumbing Night. We know that plumbing emergencies can happen at any time. In fact, they seem to happen at the most inconvenient times. And then inviting an unknown plumber into your home, that can add to the stress of the situation. The Plumbing Night wants to alleviate any stress about inviting a technician into your home by guaranteeing that we have not only the very best plumbers, but also the most knowledgeable plumbers. Before any of our employees are hired, all of the employees must undergo drug testing and a thorough background check. If they don't pass, they aren't hired. No exceptions. Once they're hired and part of the team, they receive continuous technical and customer training to ensure that they are the very best at their trade. This training is week after week, month after month, year after year. This training is what got us into community college to teach the plumbing trade. So the next time you have an emergency, call the Plumbing Night. They're known for extraordinary service and integrity.
Call the Plumbing Night at 639-5555, day or night, or on the web at theplumbingnight.com.
It's 6 a.m., and you're driving 2 hours to a 30-minute heart appointment. It's time for a wake-up call. UNC Health Southeastern is redefining heart care for Robeson County and beyond by bringing outstanding doctors and the most advanced technology to diagnose and treat heart conditions closer to home. Schedule a heart assessment by calling 910-671-6619. UNC Health Southeastern, here for you, here for good.
Gib and Jess here from Sandhills Trailer Sales, formerly Dobie Trailer. We sell
trailers.
We're located at 438 White Hill Road in Sanford off of US 1 and 15501, where we sell
trailers.
Whether you need an enclosed, gooseneck, ATV, or equipment trailer, we have them all. We are veteran-owned, so stop by and see us or call us today at 919-776-9624. Sandhills Trailer Sales for all your trailer needs.
And did I mention we sell trailers?
Fast, fresh, and always great taste. The Daily Combo Special from Honey Baked Ham for only $8.99. A terrific and tasty lunch sandwich from Honey Baked Ham, accompanied by a side and drink for only $8.99. Make it a Honey Baked Ham Day with their $8.99 combo.
The greatest comeback of all time is underway. Remember to shop local businesses. A reminder from Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB.
The Zumwalt Zone is proudly sponsored by Moore County Citizens for Freedom, always looking out for you.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt Zone. Boy, have I got some good news for you drivers. You may now drive your car with no fear of being pulled over for certain violations. You won't be stopped for not having insurance, or a loud muffler, or an expired inspection sticker, or a broken tail light, or a broken headlight, or illegal window tinting, or even driving with a revoked license. These are all things that officers can see, or they can glean from your license plate. So apparently you can now get in your car with an expired inspection sticker and one headlight, one taillight, no insurance, loud muffler. You can drive all over the place. And you can even do it if your driver's license is revoked. You'll be fine. Well, there is one glitch. You got to make it to Mecklenburg County first. Sheriff Gary McFadden's put a stop to these types of traffic violations in his area. He said it was unfair to the black population to be pulled over for this. Apparently they're getting pulled over for it more than the white population. He doesn't say whether or not they're guilty or whether they're just getting stopped by bigoted deputies. I think that's kind of important to know, don't you? If you've got a deputy out there stopping people for these offenses and that driver's guilty of nothing but being black, they need to fire that deputy and maybe prosecute him, I think. Don't you? What's next? Too many Mexicans being arrested for illegally coming over the Mexican border? Equality means equality. It does not mean amnesty. Don't try this foolishness in Moore County. Our sheriff enforces the law. Have a good day from the Zumwalt Zone.
It's going to be a warmer day today than where we were yesterday, with high temperatures out ahead of a cold front in the low to mid 80s this afternoon. We'll see mostly sunny skies. Then for tonight, partly cloudy and cool with overnight lows in the mid 50s. Behind the cold front, we'll see temperatures cooler this weekend with highs on Saturday in the upper 60s and low 70s with mostly sunny skies tomorrow. So looking at a fairly nice forecast here as we head into the weekend with no rain. I'm meteorologist Anthony Baglione in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' #1 morning show. Mornings with the LeaderMan. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
What day is today? Friday.
It's been an amazing week.
How do you mean?
How so? Records were broken.
I had a good feeling off the bat.
It is gone! Number 62!
Hot gossip.
Tom Brady and Gisele Bündchen's marriage may be headed for the end zone.
You ready to get this party started?
Ready for the weekend.
Turn on! Tune in!
Turn it up.
Welcome, my friends, to the show that never ends. Showtime.
She's solo maintenance. Don't need no champagne, poppin' entertainment. Take her to Wendy's, can't keep her off me. She wanna dip it like them fries in her frosty. But every now and then when I get paid, I gotta spoil my baby with an upgrade. Hey. Yeah, we fancy like Applebee's on a date night. Got that Bourbon Street steak with the Oreo shake. Get some whipped cream on the top two. 2 straws, 1 check, girl, I got you. Bougie like Natty in the styrofoam. Squeaking in the truck bed all the way home. With some Alabama jammer, she my Dixieland delight. That's how we do, fancy like.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sandhills. It is time once again for Mornings with the LeaderMan. I am Steve Leader Adams, and don't forget, of course, we're being heard and seen around the world on our live video stream. That's up and running for you at our website at talk973.com or talk1041.com or WEEB990.com. Top middle of the page is where the video link is located, plus you can see previous videos. And our audio link, if you'd like to just have that, it's in the upper right-hand corner of every one of our web pages where the audio link says on the air listen live. If you click that once, you're listening that quick. Weather for us today here in the Sandhills area. It's going to be nice. Flat, it's going to be nice for the next 7 days. So what can I say? How about 10? I'll throw 10 on there for you. Sunny every day, 81 today, 56 tonight, 70 and 45 Saturday, 69, 52 Sunday, Monday, 72, 52, and then low to mid 70s the rest of the week next week. Right now, around the Sandhills, solar radiation is at 22 watts per square meter. Pressure is 30-44. Winds are calm. Dew point's 55. Humidity 87%. It is sunny and 59 degrees currently here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. You know, last week at this time, we were all watching the numbers here about Hurricane Ian, and it could, you know, I was watching that barometric pressure, and it was coming up, which means it was really weakening, and eventually it did. It got some rain. A few people went without power, but not for too long. It seems like eternity if you're the one without power, though. I know that feeling. It used to be Midland Road, man. Wind blew, you were without power over and over again. And they finally came through and did a good cleaning on it. And it's been a lot less frequent now. Back when Matthew came through, Hurricane Matthew, that was a direct hit. And it still had Category 1 in it. And it blew, and it blew, and it rained, 17 inches of rain.
Oh, my.
But the power stayed on. I was saying, hold me up, Lisa. I'm coming. It must be dead.
We sure are blessed this week. That's a fact.
All right, John, what you got in your tool chest there?
All right. Well, I've got something I want to talk to you about. And if you're a parent especially, I hope you'll listen. Or a grandparent, or even just someone who's just concerned. Steve, you're probably going to remember this, and a lot of people will. Back in 1971, a movie came out. The name of that movie was Billy Jack. And it was about a guy who had come back from Vietnam, and it was a corny movie. It was almost corny to the point of ridiculousness, but you know what? I loved it.
But it had Kung Fu in it.
Yeah, yeah. He was a guy who kind of took up for the innocent. And the whole story was about a Native American school that a bunch of bullies were bullying different kids in that school, and Billy Jack would always seem to show up at just the right time to put them in their place. There's one scene in there where a lot of you will remember that kids were in a little candy store, and the bullies came in and poured some kind of white powder. I don't know if it was sugar, if it was flour, or what it was, all over them, and started laughing and said, "Now you're white. You like that? You like being white?" And, of course, Billy Jack knocked them all out, and he went outside, and one of the most famous lines in the entire movie that's still iconic to this day was when he told the town head bully guy that he said, "I'm going to take my left foot, and I'm going to kick you right in the side of your head right there. And you know what? There's not a darn thing you can do about it." And then he did. And, of course, again, it was ridiculous. But you know what was good about that? Billy Jack always showed up, seemed to help the kids that were being bullied. But there is no Billy Jack in our schools now. There's no one there. When I say there's no one, I mean there's no principal. There's no teacher. There's no one there to help them in the long run. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. Now, I don't want to, this is going to be kind of new to you because I don't particularly want to point the finger right now at principals or teachers or even the old school board. Well, maybe the old legacy school board because they've known about this for a long time. And I'm not sure how we get this fixed except through our legislature. And I want to tell you that we're blessed. We're blessed that we have Senator Tom McInnes that we can call and you can talk to. And I encourage you to because I happen to think that's about the only way we're going to get this changed. Get what changed? What I'm about to tell you about. I'm going to have to be careful here because I don't want to bust any one child out. And I have been, you know what happened to me? I got calls and calls about my child's being bullied. And they keep telling me that they're taking action, but I don't know what that action is. So here, before I tell you too much more, let me tell you this. If your child, let's just say your 12, 13-year-old child goes to Walmart with you and gets separated, and during that little separation, a couple of kids push him over into a corner and sexually harass or sexually assault him or her, yes, boys sexually assaulting boys, if that happens, then you call the police, whatever jurisdiction it is, and you make a report, and they keep you informed right along, and so that you know what has happened. But if that happens in your schools, it's completely different. I can tell you, well, I'm not going to tell you because I respect the privacy of the parents, but I would like you to know that I have shared this with the permission of the mother and with the mother involved with school board member Bob Levy. And he's working on this, and We'll be talking about this more. But what has happened, and again, I want to try to be vague to cover up to protect the child's name, but a child has been sexually bullied and sexually harassed a couple of times last year and then once 2 days ago. And here's what happens every time. The parents are told this: we have investigated this, and you're going to have to take our word that appropriate action was taken. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm way past taking anyone's word. You're going to tell me that if my precious children, when they were young enough, first grade, second grade, third grade, whatever, went to school and they were beat up or they were sexually molested in some way by another student, you tell me that you were going to tell me that, well, Mr. Zumwalt, we're going to tell you we did take appropriate action. We can't tell you what that is, though, because the laws prohibit us from telling you. That is, I can't even think of the words to tell you how wrong of an answer that is. Don't tell me, Legacy School Board, that I have trusted that we have all trusted for you to educate our children all these years, and you have screwed it up. Don't tell me all of a sudden that when my child is physically assaulted or sexually assaulted or in any way bullied, that I'm supposed to just take your word for it, that you've done something. Imagine, again, you're in Walmart, and your child, you find your child, and the child's got a bloody nose, or they're crying, and they don't want to tell you what happened. Because for one thing, they're embarrassed about it. And by the way, parents, these kids, I'm finding out more and more and more, often don't tell their parents, don't tell you. If you've got a child who is weaker than other children. I was a little skinny kid when I was in school, and I only got bullied one time. And I'm not going to go into all the facts behind it, but I will tell you this. His name was Reuben, and Reuben later on paid the price. If I see you in person, you ask me about Reuben, I'll tell you exactly what happened. But Reuben rued the day that he bullied me. But not everyone has that good fortune to be able to do that. If you have a child who is weak or meek, or just a good kid who just wants to go to school and learn and read and just be a normal kid, there is a very, very high probability that that child is bullied during the course of the school year. My son, who I lost, was bullied during school. I didn't know that. He didn't tell me, and the reason he didn't tell me, he told me later as an adult, was because he was afraid of the repercussions, both from the bullies and from the teachers that I might go up there and confront. He was afraid that they would take it out on him later, and of course they would have. So just because your child goes to school and comes home every day and doesn't tell you anything, you've really got to quiz them. But here's what I really would like to see changed. The schools will tell you right now, if you go up and ask whoever you ask, the superintendent, the person who does the news releases, Mrs. Catherine Nagy, married to the editor of the newspaper, John Nagy, if you ask them, what was the punishment for what my child did, they will tell you, well, we can't release that. That's the law. We can't tell you. But just take our word for it. Something was done. We fixed it. It's exactly what happened when I talked about that teacher who, and I don't want to rehash this, but I want to remind you, when I talked about that teacher who spoke so obscenely to her class, and I brought that out, and what did they tell me that was done? They said, well, we can't really tell you what we did, but you'll just have to take our word that something was done, appropriate action was taken. Don't tell parents that when their child is bullied or when their child is sexually molested, boy on boy, because that's a weaker child, just a good kid, just a good child. Don't tell me as a parent or any parent out there, just have to take our word. We took the correct action, and we can't tell you what we did because it's against the law. And so it's going to take, apparently, according to them, a change in the legislature, in the laws through the legislature. And that's why I say I am convinced totally that Senator Tom McInnes. We've got to keep him in the legislature. We've got to, because he's a champion. He fights for us, and he'll fight for your child, but you've got to let him know. Kids or parents, just because your child does not come home and report to you that something's going on, doesn't mean that something's not going on. I have just got a text just now, and that's why I kind of stuttered a little bit more than even normal. And she said to me, I had a child that was bullied 3 times last year, and I reported it, and all they would tell me was they fixed it. But they didn't. They never fixed it. This has got to be taken out of their hands. And so I guess what I want to leave this with, Steve, this particular segment, is this. Billy Jack's not going to show up to protect your child. Your child only has you to show up, no one else. And when you leave that precious child, and I keep using the word precious because, yes, that child is precious. When you leave that precious boy or girl, and there are a bunch of thugs around who want to take advantage, who want to bully them, who want to beat them up or hit them or slap them or push them, or in the case of Ruben Vasquez, a groin kick, and again, let me tell you, he regretted that later. Then when they do that, and your child is afraid to come home and tell you because they warned him, or they know that if they tell a teacher, that teacher will eventually the kid will find out and nothing will be done, and they're the ones who will bear the brunt. Or if they're afraid to come home and tell you because they know that you love them and that nothing will happen. Nothing will happen except that you will go up there to the school and cause problems. I'm reading a text here I got. Someone just texted me, I'm not going to tell you who, that said that according to the DPI website, Moore County schools had 7 instances of bullying last year. Okay, let me reread that. According to the DPI website, that's the Department of Public Instruction, Moore County schools had 7 instances of bullying last year. And they end with the comment, this isn't being reported. In other words, we all know that there were many, many, many more instances of being bullying, but this is just not getting reported. It may not be getting reported by the child. It may not be getting reported by the parent or the superintendent or the police or whoever it might be, the principal, the teacher, because it doesn't look good for them. But this has got to stop. You know, when you bully a little child, and when you make a little child, just picture your little girl when she was going to school. You were almost afraid to walk off and leave her in the first grade that day. It broke your heart, and or your son. And then they go to school every day. Imagine if you could see the fear in their heart because of this. And so what am I calling for here? I doubt if we'll ever stop bullying unless we just start kicking kids out that do this. And we're not talking, by the way, guys, all you macho guys out there, well, I tell you what, I was bullied, and okay, good for you, Mr. Macho Man. But you're not a little precious kid right now. You're not a little girl, a little boy who's being beat up or threatened or scared when their life's a living hell to go to school, and it shouldn't be, because someone is not taking care of them. And we are supposed to take care of these children. If not us, who? And so what I'm telling you, what I'm calling for, what I'm recommending, what I'm hoping, what I'm pleading for, is that we will get these laws changed so that when something happens to your child, that I'm not asking them to publish the name, address, phone number, social security number of the kid. I'm just saying that the parent should be allowed to know every step of the way what is happening. Was that kid suspended? Was the kid thrown out? Was the kid talked to? Was your kid lying? What happened? That's all we want to know.
Well, another thing that we don't know is what kind of fight it was. I sometimes, I hate to have to say it this way, but sometimes you got to stand up and push back. Because if you lay down for it every time, they're going to keep coming every time. And sometimes you just got to whale them back. And, yeah, you'll get hit some, but you know what? You'll survive it, and they will be the ones going down.
Well, you probably couldn't have said that at a better time or a worse time, Steve, because I just got this text. It says it's not, well, first of all, we're not talking about 2 boys in a fight. That's not what we're talking about here at all, not even close. it says here, this is not pushing and shoving. This is not boys will be boys. This was targeted and violent against this person's child. Not reported because my child had no faith in the school system. So, look, if a boy gets in a fight with another boy, that's happened for generations. That's how we train our kids to be. That's how kids instinctively know to grow up to be warriors someday. That's not what
I'm just saying.
about.
You don't bend over and just take it. You got to hit back.
But when you're a meek child, and okay, I got another one here from someone else, and it says,
"How come you're getting them all? I'm not getting any."
Because it says, "Sorry, JD, repeating my message that I preach. The community wonders why kids commit suicide." And that's a very good thing for him to say, that, you know what, why are they committing suicide? Here's one that says, there should be no violence at school, 0. Well, we know there's going to be. We know that there's going to be, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about your little girl, your little boy. Your little boy, I keep thinking about my little son when he was little. He was just a little kid who he didn't know how to fight. He didn't know anything about that. He didn't want to do it. He just wanted to go to school. And I didn't find out till years later that going to school some days was living hell for him. He hated it. I didn't know it, and maybe you don't know it. But the only way that we're going to be able to help our new school board members to change this is to get our legislature involved and to get this changed so that when this happens, they can report this and let you know what's going on and move these kids out, because as long as you allow these school officials, superintendent, principals, to not report back to you what happened, all they will tell you is, yes, we took action. What kind of action? Well, we can't tell you. Well, I want to know what happened. Well, it was appropriate action. Well, maybe you thought it was, but maybe I didn't. And I want that kid gone. I want him gone out of my school, or I want you to transfer my kid to another school. One of the two, you take your pick. But look, I don't think there's anyone listening who, if I am indeed correct, if I'm correct, that if what I'm doing is reporting to you the truth, that can say to me, no, this is okay, this is all right, this is good. No, it's not. It's not okay. And we've got to be the people who stand up and protect these kids. Someone just texted me and said that there's supposed to be a law in place that these kids are removed from the schools, and this is not happening. And I don't know what's happening, but it says also, another one here, the schools are not watching and protecting kids like they should. They're not. They're not watching them. They're not protecting them. Okay, Steve, I don't want to overdo this. I've done it enough. I'm hoping that I've got people stirred up.
Obviously, people are pretty interested in it, so since you're getting a bunch of texts.
Well, I just want them to know. I want them to worry about their kids. I want them to know they're not being protected by the schools. And I want them to know that I happen to believe that it's going to take a change in the legislature.
Well, if your child is being bullied on a regular basis, what should they do?
Well,
go see Tom McInnes.
If your child is being bullied, the hard part is going to be to get them to tell you about it, and then try to figure out with that child what the appropriate action is, because you don't want to get you don't want to make the bullying become worse. And you know what I'm in danger of here? I'm in danger of trying to all of a sudden believe that I'm some kind of an expert here on child bullying, and I'm certainly not. But I know something's got to change. One person says here that on Pinecrest property, their daughter was retaliated against by one of the coaches because they had reported I'm not going to say it. They had reported someone for drinking alcohol. And the only reason I don't want to say who is because I don't want to give any of these away. But it's a problem, Steve. And you know, it's heart-wrenching. It's gut-wrenching. It's really, as I talked to this mother the last couple of days, and as Bob Levy, school board member, did as well, I think both of us were just brokenhearted that she would have to come to us and report this because she can get nothing done by the schools. And it's last year twice and just a few days ago. So unless we start taking this seriously as a community, and unless our state changes some laws so that parents can have the satisfaction of knowing what's been done, and I believe that's going to take getting. I texted Senator McInnes just before I went on and asked him if he could listen. He may not be able to. He's very busy, but I do know this. he's a guy who'll sit down and talk about it and try to come up with some solutions for you instead of just ignoring it and hoping things turn out for the best. But anyway, maybe we need to get some type of community action going on this, or some kind of something. But this can't continue. It cannot continue to send your little kids to school and let them be bullied, and have the school, the lady, Mrs. Nagy, who puts out information, just tell us that, well, I can't tell you how many, as the person pointed out a while ago, there are no statistics on this. We don't know how many kids were bullied. We don't know how many fights they had. We don't know how many rapes, attempted rapes, people are being accused of rapes even though they might be innocent, or though they're guilty. We don't know. We don't know this. I'm sick and tired of hearing these legacy school board members say to us, well, drugs are not a big problem there, and the fights are just boys being boys. That's a lie. That's a lie. I asked a girl the other day, Steve, that was with her mother. She was with her mother, and we were talking about this, and I asked her the following question. I said, if I wanted to, if I were a student, would I be able to get drugs? And she didn't say to me yes, and she did not say to me no. She said, are you kidding? Are you kidding? That was just she rolled her eyes. Anytime, anywhere you want them. She talked about walking in the classroom, or rather the restrooms, and boys, or girls and girls, or girls and boys, doing all kind of things they shouldn't do, and you use your own imagination there.
Well, I'll tell you, one time I was walking around behind the school, around the pond with my dog, and lo and behold, I looked down, and there's a fully loaded syringe there, filled up with heroin, ready to go.
Well, you know what, things were...
so I'd say they do have a drug problem there.
Well, here's the problem. It's the culture. It's now the culture. And we can never forget those words. It is now the culture. Bullying, I'm not talking about fighting, even though that's horrible enough. I'm talking about just taking advantage of just sweet kids, bullying, sex on campus. And I'm not naive enough to think kids are not going to have sex, but I am still believe in America enough and scriptural principles enough to know that your child shouldn't have to walk into a bathroom or a closet and there's kids in there all the time. There's a drug culture. It's a culture. And our legacy school board members and the ones running for office who've been there 19 years, 17 years, 5 years, 6 years, and the Pam, who's been on the school board as the chairperson, to say to us, well, this is just boys being boys, and we don't really have a problem. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So parents, I guess the only thing I can say to you is I hope you'll take this seriously. And even if you hate my guts and you can't stand the things I say, and if you don't like anything about me, whether you're the most blatant liberal who ever lived, or whether you're the most hardcore nutcase right-wing conservative, or whether you're like me, very much a constitutional conservative, I hope that you will think these things over, mull them over, look into them, check with your children, do what you can to protect your children, and we'll get on about our lives. So we've only got 1 minute left, and I'm sorry, but I cannot get to all the texts. But I hope you'll at least look into this further, and I think Bob Levy, for the moment, is kind of, whether he likes it or not, taking the lead on this. I've kind of put him on the spot. But Bob's listening, and so I wish you all the best. I hope you have a great, great weekend, and God bless your little children.
All right, so it goes for this Friday. Have yourself a great, safe week. We'll see you back bright and early Monday for a Wait a minute, I'm a minute early. You didn't talk long enough.
I'm afraid I'm done. Well, you gave me the signal.
Let me remind you that tonight...
Well, I've got something, Steve.
Okay.
We've got a concealed carry class Saturday, 9 o'clock. We always have dropouts, and we had some this week. So American Legion, 9 o'clock, Saturday morning. That's tomorrow.
That's in Aberdeen.
Aberdeen, American Legion. So just give me a call or just let me know, and we'll put you in. How much is it? It's $90, but all of it's going to go, every nickel's going to the American Legion. We're not keeping not one penny of it, not for expenses, nothing. We're paying our own stuff, and we're going to give it all to the American Legion.
And that includes a little adventure there on the shooting range.
Yep, they'll be shooting, and they'll learn what the law says about when to shoot, when not to shoot, and their responsibilities as a gun carrying American.
And you hear it from a professional. All right. So it goes for this Friday. And this week, have yourself a great, safe weekend. We'll see you back bright and early on Monday for Monday. Until then, be sure to support the advertisers you hear on WEEB. They're the core of our economic recovery. That when they get first crack at your spending dollars, well, your money stays here, rolls over, and creates jobs for all of us, and it's not sent out to China and Sri Lanka. And also, don't forget that you too can be advertising and putting customers in your door. I'll guarantee it. Just give us a call here at WEEB to find out all the details. And don't forget that millions of Americans have fought and they have died to give and protect the freedoms that you get to enjoy today. Live today worthy of their and their family's sacrifice. I'm Steve Leader Adams and the Leader Man, and Nick and Colt the dog will all see you at 2 this afternoon at the dog park.
I come back. You'd better